Thank you for all the support. Most of my poetry is self-explanatory. The first poem I'm going to read is something I submitted for the GBSPA contest that I now know I did not win. So I'm going to read it here. I hope you enjoy it along with the rest of my work. So without further ado, we will take a journey following a lonely set of footprints in the sand. Champions of the city. She gets up every morning at 4:30 a.m. in the gray of dawn. She needs to get up, get ready, go to work. The kids need to get up, get ready to go to school. Her toddler stays all day with her mother. Even now, she can hear her mother's bare feet slapping the linoleum as she crosses the kitchen floor, making everyone's breakfast. There is still a lunch to pack for her daughter to take to work, and supper to be planned with what little they have. Her time is limited. The bus heads downtown at 6:20. He rises at 5 a.m. every morning. His aunt and grandson sleep. Yogurt and a banana make a quick breakfast. Leftovers for lunch are already packed, ready to go. Tonight his aunt cooks supper. Last night was his turn. Tomorrow will be again. As they struggle on, he keeps an eye on the time. The bus goes downtown at 6:20. Just surviving in a place like Brockton takes the effort of a championship endurance. No matter who tells you that it's all getting better, it takes a magician to make both ends meet these days. Just to put food on the table is a labor of Herculean strength. Still, that is not enough, not for them. To secure a better city, a decent place to live, among the crime and urban blight, they fight the good fight. His disabled aunt, when not babysitting, visits the nursing home to read to the old folks. He has an AIDS buddy who enjoys both the buddy and his bubbly grandson. It brightens up her world. Her mother knits even as she sits watching the children, making Afghans for people stricken with AIDS who freeze all winter even when the heat is blasting. She spends one afternoon every single week tutoring children to read at the after-school program volunteers run down at her church. No one sees the little pieces of disorder that these champions pick up, dust off, and repair, one person at a time. One less lonely elder hearing written word. One less lonely person with AIDS visited and lovingly cared about. One more PWA wrapped in caring warmth. One more child able to read written words, able to decipher the black marks on the white paper that makes literature live. None of them will ever be asked to ride in the car in the holiday parade reserved for the champions of the year. But without their efforts championship teamwork would not be able to accumulate towards hope. For Nana, she was the light in my life. As a child, I could imagine nothing more important than my great-grandmother. Nana would sit as I carefully brushed her long, lustrous silver hair while she spoke of her life, her childhood in Nizza in Savoy, a parcel of land now called Nice, no longer a part of Italia, her pre-teen years in the Alps after the death of her own dear, sweet mother, with her stepmother and the adolescence in a small village in the Tuscan foothills of the Apennines. I listened as the brush stroked. I heard her life have meaning in mine. She taught me where I came from and to where I was now, as she told me how it was to come to America. Nana was not too young when she died. I was. I didn't get to share the rest of the journey with her. Since then, I have had to make my own way with other teachers and with the knowledge and power that she invested in me. The Graminator. Back in the 70s, when purse snatching was all the rage, Grandma decided to become a one-woman deterrent. She bought cheap purses for pennies at Goodwill and loaded them with what we scooped out of the cat box, or the presents dogs left on her lawn. Then we would go downtown with shopping bags full of other shopping bags, and she would be careless with her pocketbook, the perfect victim, a little old lady, weighed down with grandkids and shopping. As the purse snatcher grabbed her loosely held purse victoriously, she would scream after him, "You'll get what you deserve, you MFing SOB," with a victorious smile, delighting in her delivery of justice, picturing the thief as he saw that all his hard work and running had been for a purse full of merda. Actually, Grandma never said MFing SOB. She had never minced words in her life, for she was a rough and tumble stitcher who'd spent a lifetime in sweatshops. Those who didn't toughen up got ate up, and she was a survivor with a sense of justice. Lilacs. When Nana's parents built the modern farmhouse as a wedding gift to her, they extended her 3 luxuries: a sunroom off the living room, a garage for her Hupmobile, the first one bought in Brockton, and a backyard fenced in with white pickets containing a cavalcade of lilac bushes. When I was a child, those bushes towered like trees, unpruned bushes, but that's what Nana liked in her backyard, the white picket fence dwarfed by huge lilac bushes. She loved their immenseness. She loved the colors, antique white and antique lilac, better than the fresher colors of well-pruned bushes. Her lilac trees produced a powerful aroma of its sickeningly sweet lilac odor, powerful and overwhelming, yet having a delicateness as it permeated the house. I loved Nana's lilac bushes in all their grandiose presence, with their verbose scents. I miss those bushes. Now that farmhouse is 2 apartments, the yard is 2 long driveways, the garage is gone, the crops beyond the white picket fenced yard are abandoned woods in a neighborhood sinking into urban decay. Apparently lilac bushes don't go with the slums and were torn down to make way for banality. Slammed. They don't understand how insecure I am. Why? How can this be that you suffer insecurity? I tell a story old and familiar of when I was bad. What I heard from my dad. You are stupid, fat, and ugly, just like your mother. A woman I had to marry because she was pregnant with you. You ruined my life. Stupid is what the teachers in school told me I was. Fat is what the other kids teased me about. And ugly, I have seen that in every mirror I have ever looked at. The pitfalls of birth according to my mother. Every time I was a bad boy, my mother would tell me how hard she had to work just to deliver me. Having been an incorrigible child, I know this tale of woe very well. All those grueling months of pregnancy. Well, she went to work every day. And then came the terrible labor that started just as she was cooking supper. Another meal I ruined with my lateness. The labor was intense. I was her first. The nurse had to watch whenever she passed water, just in case. She delivered by mistake. You never knew. Then, oh my God, you were all shoulders. You were terribly sick. A blue baby with jaundice. And no, you little smart ass, that didn't make you green like a Martian. Just listen. Your father and I had an RH factor problem. You were so sick that the doctors and nurses knew that you wouldn't survive. And they warned me for protection. Don't name it. Don't look at it. Don't hold it in your arms. But I knew, yes, I knew, when the doctor slapped you on your tiny red bottom and you refused to cry, you just wiggled around and gave him a dirty look that you were mean enough to survive anything. So I asked to see you, held you in my arms, named your future, and took you to nurse at my breast. They were furious. They said I would suffer. Perhaps they were right, in a weird sort of way. But for better or worse, here you are being naughty. Looking in vain. Even though I know where my bonny one lies, every day of my life, I look for my dead daughter's face. When she first left us, any black baby in pink ribbons was my lost Bonnie girl. As I aged, she did not. Yet I looked for little brown girls, heads full of tamed light hair, playing jacks, jumping rope. As I turned 30, she would have been a teen, and I searched the faces of adolescent girls with cafe au lait skin and light features, brownish, reddish, blondish hair, eyes every color except brown, a rainbow of hazel, green, gray, violet. Now, at 50, I still search for her in vain. She would now be 34, a mother for certain, maybe on the cusp of being a new grandmother herself. I search for her wherever there are tall, healthily padded black women going to work, herding their children, laughing with big smiles, making eyes at a handsome man. All the things that my Aretha never got to do. And this is Dana Rose's favorite poem. It's about my grandson when he was much younger. Snowbank. As my grandson and I get to the bus stop on North Main Street, in front of the old Zayres, he lets me know that he has to poop. Do we walk all the way back to the construction site on Walnut where Habitat